If you type my name into any search engine in 2026, you'd get back exactly 0 results. I'm 82 years old, parked in a battered cargo van behind a faded bait shop. My total worldly possessions come to about $41, a pocket knife, and half a pouch of chicory coffee. No house, no retirement account, no savings. By every leaderboard your society keeps these days, I'm a complete and total washout. And I'll tell you something straight. I am without question the happiest man you will ever run into. You're looking at me right now and feeling that little tug of pity, aren't you? Bless his heart, the old fella must have messed up somewhere bad. No mistakes. Every step was deliberate. And today I'm handing you a truth. The surest way to stay alive in this world is to stop playing their game altogether. Let me carry you back to 1969. I was 25, just out of a little community college with a 2-year degree in accounting. A regional bank in Atlanta scooped me up fast. Good salary, benefits, the whole package. My first week, they put me in a windowless training room with rows of eager faces staring at overhead projectors. The instructor kept talking about career tracks, performance metrics, and making partner before 40. I looked around and saw young men and women whose eyes were already tight with fear. Fear of missing a promotion, fear of falling behind, fear of what their families would say if they didn't keep climbing. I lasted exactly 19 minutes in that chair. My chest felt like it was filling with wet cement. I stood up, left my new company pen on the desk, walked out the glass doors, and never looked back. My mother cried for a week. My father told the whole neighborhood I had ruined my life. They stopped answering my calls for nearly 15 years. But I didn't ruin anything. I saved my own skin. The next 60 years, I drifted through whatever honest work kept the tank half full and supper on the table. I shrimped out of Gulf ports, drove long-haul rigs through the night, repaired crab traps for cash, and painted houses when the weather was kind. I earned just enough to stay free and never enough for the world to put a collar on me. Every sunrise, the hours ahead were mine to spend as I pleased. In that same training room back in 1969 sat a sharp young woman named Evelyn. Evelyn stayed. Evelyn played the game with quiet brilliance. She rose through the ranks, earned her CPA, moved into corporate finance, then into fintech when the digital wave hit. By the mid-2020s, she was a director at a major investment firm, overseeing AI-driven trading algorithms and teams that never slept. She had the sleek condo overlooking the river, the second property in the mountains, the self-driving luxury car, and a perfectly curated online presence that made her look like she had it all figured out. Evelyn was a winner. Evelyn collapsed at 54 last spring during a virtual strategy meeting, her heart giving out while she reviewed AI-generated risk reports. Her husband had moved out years earlier, tired of coming home to an empty house, and a wife who answered emails at 2 a.m. Her adult children attended the service on video because travel conflicted with their own packed schedules. She had spent decades hauling an invisible 1,000-pound anchor up a steep hill just so the industry would applaud. They applauded, then the feed moved on. They still label me a loser. I call myself awake. In 2026, the trap is shinier than ever. Everyone carries a device that constantly shows them highlight reels of lives that look better, faster, more optimized. Influencers preach biohacking your way to greatness, tracking every heartbeat, every breath, every micro-habit with rings, watches, and apps that never shut up. Young people rise before dawn for cold exposure, gratitude journaling, and AI-coached workouts, all while building their personal ecosystem so brands will notice them. And now the machines are everywhere. AI agents handling your inbox, your calendar, your creative work, even your decision-making. Companies brag about human-AI synergy while quietly laying off the very people they promise to empower. You're told to supervise the bots, prompt them better, stay always on, and somehow still find meaning in the work. It's exhausting just watching it. Me? I live in a rolling metal car with a cot, a small cooler, and a couple of fishing rods. If the bayou gets too muggy, I fire up the engine and head north to cooler pine woods. If the woods feel too still, I roll back toward the water. Nothing ties me down. No monthly payments whispering threats at midnight. No performance reviews measuring my soul by output metrics. When you own almost nothing, the weight disappears. You can actually hear the birds again. You can feel the breeze on your face without calculating how it affects your productivity score. Real wealth isn't stacked in accounts or displayed on dashboards. Real wealth is opening your eyes in the morning and realizing the day doesn't demand anything from you that you don't freely give. It's the absence of that constant low-grade fever of anxiety in your chest. I don't have a 401k, but I've spent 60 years listening to old-timers spin stories on port swings, watching herons glide over still water at dawn, and sitting quietly with a cup of coffee while the world rushes past on the highway. Your generation is being sold a prettier version of the same cage. They tell you AI will free you up for higher value work, that side hustles and constant optimization will finally get you ahead. But the finish line keeps moving. You trade your actual living hours for digital approval and wonder why you feel so empty at the end of another flawless productivity streak. Failure, the way they brand it, is simply the label they slap on anyone they can't harness. When status means nothing to you, your employer has no leverage. When you carry next to nothing, there's almost nothing left to threaten. You become untouchable. So here's my quiet gift to you from this dusty van parked by the Louisiana Bayou in 2026. I'm giving you permission to step off the treadmill. Walk away from the role that tightens your jaw every Sunday evening. Close the apps that make you feel small by comparison. Stop tracking, hacking, branding, and optimizing every corner of your beautiful, messy human life. Move someplace slower. Take the modest job that leaves room for long conversations and quiet evenings. Learn to tie fishing knots, grow tomatoes on a windowsill, or simply sit and watch the sky change colors without posting proof of it. They'll mutter that you've fallen behind. They'll say you wasted your potential. Let them keep the burnout, the heart palpitations at 45, the funerals where no one really knew the deceased. Let them chase the next upgrade, the next promotion, the next AI breakthrough that somehow never quite fills the hole. You take the slow mornings. You take the unmeasured hours. You take the deep, unguarded laughter and the peace that comes when nobody needs anything from you. I'll still be here when you decide to come down from the mountain. Pull up a lawn chair, pour yourself some chicory, and stay a while. The stars look brighter when you're not busy trying to outshine them. And believe me, friend, the view from the bottom is absolutely breathtaking.